Record and share screen. Okay, hey guys, we're back with another video today to review a crazy new blockchain dApp that is making users thousands of dollars. It's hard to wrap your head around the fact that you could play an online game and earn real money, but this isn't that far-fetched. In fact, in other countries, this has happened for ages. Games like CSGO allow users to play for small amounts of US dollars, like cents, but in some countries where the currency isn't as valuable, this ends up being way more than they might get from an average job where they live. So these people have made it their career to play these games, and Megacryptopolis is not that far off from that. So Mega hit the scene in 2018, and since then have acquired millions of dollars in the game. They've continuously released updates and expansions, and some people are choosing to invest in these digital buildings rather than in physical real estate. So this video is going to go through a presentation I created to delve deeper into what Mega is, who's behind it, and how to play. So hopefully this video gives you a more comprehensive understanding of the platform and helps you make your own decision about whether or not you might be interested in investing. So as I touched on earlier, Megacryptopolis is an online world similar to the games kids would play when Web 2 was first becoming accessible in the average home. Think of Webkins or Club Penguin. So the only difference being that we're playing with real currency here rather than the digital currency that doesn't have real value in life. Mega actually had a huge hand in the adoption of NFTs like we see today, because all of the in-game assets you are purchasing are confirmed on the blockchain as an NFT, so they can't go anywhere until you sell them. The main goal of the game is to essentially function like real life, almost similar to SimCity, but you're building the city with other players. You have to harvest materials, hire employees, take care of them, build with the materials, purchase the rights to land, and more. Like we said, this game has had steady growth since release, and its value has increased by tenfold. Initial gameplay was somewhat expensive because every transaction cost money to make on the blockchain. But Mega has made steps to drastically decrease the amount of money it costs to send a transaction through. The economy is pretty solid. They've induced scarcity to mimic the real world as much as possible. Their economy essentially functions basically like the United States does, but it's just all digital in this case. So when you first sign up for your account, you'll have to first connect whatever blockchain wallet you choose to use. And I personally recommend MetaMask. It's completely free to sign up and it's totally decentralized. So all of your assets can never be frozen or taken. I'm going to drop a link below and put some more information about it for anyone interested. But once you use your wallet password to connect to your account, you will be gifted your first NFT, which is a Megacryptopolis citizen. So your citizens are going to be randomized and will all have different traits that determine how much money they could potentially make you. These are the different qualifications, and we'll get into what they mean in a bit. So like we said, Mega functions just like the real world, and constructing buildings is what's going to bring you income, but it isn't as simple as pushing a button. You must collect resources to start construction. You also have to buy the land. Once the building is up, other players and citizens will interact with them to earn their own money, and the circular economy begins. The land plots you need are also NFTs, and the price of them will depend on what is in the surrounding area. So we're going to quickly go over the different types of buildings you can invest in and the potential income that they can generate for you. Residential buildings are cool because each citizen who plays the game must live in one, so it's certain that players will interact with it. Residential buildings are also going to produce new citizens for you, so that's new NFTs, new workers. Office buildings allow you to collect money from the global and district funds. These funds are basically just taxes that each player contributes to as they earn money. Citizens can also work in these buildings to generate income. Commercial buildings allow players to trade and refill stamina so they can continue earning money. So municipal buildings, Mega mimics the real world as much as possible. This means that there are natural disasters in the game so that the economy is pretty lifelike. So if a natural disaster happens in a building you own, you're going to receive money from an insurance fund. And that's essentially what these buildings do, is take care of that. So industrial buildings produce materials needed to keep the economy functioning. Materials cost money to produce, but then they can be sold for a profit. So citizens must work in the building to produce items, and then this is going to produce those raw materials that anybody needs for construction. Production buildings also produce resources needed for gameplay, but they focus on bricks, glass, steel, and concrete. Factory buildings produce appliances for citizen purchase. Energy, these structures produce energy and water, which are required to maintain production in all buildings. So they are essential to the economy. So materials, like we said, almost every action in the decentralized city requires resources to be performed. Every operation consumes energy and water, and every building construction demands these basic and complex materials. Then we just talked about resources. So energy and water are produced in the energy buildings. And like we just said, you need that for everything that you're going to do. These are your basic materials that are created in those industrial buildings, just to show you what they look like. The complex materials are also going to be needed for buildings, but you need a smaller amount. And I just wanted to show some conversations people were having about this game. You should, of course, do your own research, but the consensus is generally positive, and most people investing are making returns. So this isn't really a game that you can put money into and just walk away from. You're going to need to periodically check in to move resources around. I wanted to learn more about the actual economics of the game, because what I was hearing was almost too good to be true. I kept talking to people who were saying that they were making so much money from this game, and I just couldn't understand within this digital game with digital real estate how that was generating incomes and if there was going to be a bubble. So Mega is made up of both a macro economy and a micro economy. They've put a lot of thought into the tokenomics and economics behind their game. And since it mirrors real life so much, they put precautionary measures in place for inflation. And if you want to go deeper into the tokenomics, we'll put some resources below. But right now, Mega is functioning really well and making a lot of people money. But we will have to keep an eye on it as more people join the game and rapid expansion happens. So here I have included some helpful graphs so you can see how much money is going into the game and how much people are participating. We'll get to that in just a second. This was just more about the economics of Mega. They started back in 2017. They started just on Medium mapping this out and planning it. So for years before they put it into action, they were studying real life, studying the economy, and seeing how they could make this work in a digital sense. And it started with just a blank net map that, it only cost pennies to participate in the game. And as more and more users joined, it drove the price of that land up. It drove the price of the resources up. And now there are enough people participating that people are making significant returns on it. So yeah, like we said, here you can districts are going to be the bigger blocks of land. You can buy land plots within the districts, but they're going to be sold during auctions, and it can be traded freely like any other in-game asset. All of the assets that you're playing with in Mega are all NFTs, so they're all just stored on the blockchain. Owning a district, though, you can set the blocks. You own a section of this game. You have complete control. It's not like you're playing on the map. You own part of this game. So these auctions are what sets the worth of the game. And yeah, it's essentially just like our economy. And here are some of these graphs that I was talking about. So you can see how many auctions are taking place, how many people are participating in this game. So this was out of just land plot sales, 382 ETH. So that's thousands of dollars. Every key action requires tax payments, and then those taxes get paid out within the district fund. So if you are a landowner, you will get some of the taxes, and that covers insurance and stuff as well. Mega has its own token, and that reflects the value of the game. So you can actually earn the Mega tokens by participating in the game. And those tokens, that stuff that you earn for participating, is what can be traded for fiat value. So you can have real US dollars in your hand after you earn these tokens within the game. Or you can put it back into it and keep going. So like we said, they work on controlling inflation with proper tokenomics. And you can see so many buildings have been constructed. There's so many building types, lots of district owners. So this is the amount that they've actually paid out to just the district owners. So that's 483 ETH. Once again, that's thousands of dollars. This is paid to land plot owners. So if you want to go in and for not a significant amount, you can own a plot of land, and then you will start making money off of that once you build a building and have people interact with it. So this is district sales in the secondary market. This is when they're resold to other people. And I wanted to let you peek into the Discord as well, just to see what people are talking about, review any issues that they're having with the game, seeing what strategies are, and more. I highly recommend joining this before you invest in a large amount of money so you can see what people are talking about. People are actually recruiting other players to join their corporations because it allows the partnership to make a greater return. So joint ventures are great in this case. There's also a resource list that will go over in depth what I've just briefly reviewed in this video. So once again, if you're interested in playing along and seeing the inside of the game, go on over. And if you don't have a wallet, head to MetaMask to create one for free. And then if you really want to start playing the game, you're going to have to purchase ETH. So you're going to transfer US dollars or whatever currency you use to ETH to pay your gas fees for the game. You don't have to do this right away, though. You will get your citizen right after you claim them, and you can start exploring meta for free. So then, yeah, you go here, you met your free citizen. It's megacryptopolis.com. You don't have to do anything fancy. And we also on Housing Joint Venture, we'll link it below, but we do own buildings in Mega. And if you want to go check them out or look at our joint venture, you can go ahead and do that. So that's going to be linked under all the other resources in the videos. So before we go, there are a few different strategies that we're briefly going to skip through, and these show you how people are actually making real life money off of the game. Number one is to produce the NFT tokens. So this could be building a whole supply chain within Mega. So you buy the land, you buy the, you construct the buildings, and then you start making these resources and you create appliances and stuff that the other citizens need to use to function. So you sell those on the market and you make NFT money from that. You can construct buildings and then rent them out. You can get crypto from the tax funds. So like we just said, if you are a land or district owner, everything that people do in the game, that they charge a tiny bit of tax for that, and then that goes towards people who have a stake in the game. You can also create new generations of citizens, and you can earn money from that. And so if you have residential buildings, that's all you need to have that happen. Some people hunt natural disasters, apparently, which I thought was crazy. They have virtual storm chasers. So we talked about the buildings that have an insurance fund. So you can essentially, like if you're around this natural disaster, when that happens in the district, you can get that insurance money. People trade resources and materials. Like we said, to construct anything, you're going to need materials. And you can govern a district and collect currency on that. And that's all we have for you today. So like I said, we're going to link some more resources down below. I encourage you to keep reading about this to actually get into Mega and see how it functions. Definitely read the Discord too, so you can see the kind of people that are in there and what they're talking about. And then you can look at our buildings as well on housingjointventure.com. So thanks for listening, guys, and we will have more blockchain videos soon. Bye.